to the wound roll. And honestly, like that's gonna be really insane when it comes down to poison weapons, if I'm reading this right. Because it just says, add one to the strength characteristics of all models with this obsession. When resolving an attack made with a poison weapon by a model with this obsession against a unit that has a lower toughness characteristic than the attacking model, add one to the wound roll. So think about, like your electro corrosive whips, wounding these guard characters or, other Eldar characters on threes now, dealing 2 damage apiece.
Hmm. Man,
I'm a huge fan of them.
is the damn Vexator mask only for Prophets of the Flesh?
Yep,
Ah. Well, I
that
guess
makes me sad.
I think a lot of this will depend on how they handle successor stuff.
Yeah,
Because like if you can, I don't know. I'm definitely my interest is super peaked, and I know that tomorrow, a lot of the YouTube channels generally get stuff like the day before. Um, we have a sorry, just got technical. We had some more. I think we're live now, but I think that we were not live for a while, but we have it all recorded,
Okay.
which is good. That's super
that's the
solid.
important part.
Yeah, so Pete said he has it all recorded. Um,
Sounds good.
you know what, Jeremy? I want to tell you that you are the early friend of the show, and someday when we have our shit down, we're gonna give you a medal.
Oh,
Just say,
I'd appreciate that.
this guy came on shows and we weren't fucking streaming anything. It was just talking.
Yeah, we had that one great conversation for an hour and like 15 minutes that we had to go back and re-record.
Oh my
That was all
god.
good, man.
But yeah, so I think we're good though. I think that the Pete said he has it recorded. So we will just keep on talking and we'll edit that part out later. So in general, I think that this release is definitely a good thing for Eldar, like obviously because it means we're getting new rules. I think that like the eye candy of the new models and shit was a little bit disappointing for me personally, but that's just because I didn't feel like Jane Zar got an improvement, but now listening to Jeremy talk, Drazahar got a significant improvement, and he's kind
Yeah.
of the thing that I wanted. So it's generally all good, I think, and this craft world stuff, man, like, woo.
I as good as the craft world stuff is, again, I'm really thinking that the sleeper will overlook shit will be the Jakar stuff because we had kind of gotten into monotony like 2 or 3 different ways to go with it, and I'm really interested in what people can get out of that codex, which is widely considered top 3 codex by itself.
Yeah.
I mean, Iron Hands notwithstanding.
I mean, I feel like the Eldar had definitely, I think, fallen into like somewhat of a rut in terms of what people were running. It was mostly just planes, and or vehicles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Until
Or like
and then
spam.
yeah, and even still, the grotesque span was still like we have like 3 or 6 planes in addition to this many grotesques, which is where it's cool that our boy Jeremy, give a shout out to you, man, like for that Novelist was a new idea. It was like it had the familiar characters, but it was like in a different. I think it was just crazy that there weren't any planes in there. That was definitely the wildest part of that whole situation. And it did so well, which is really cool. So I know I'm curious to see what you're tooling around with when all these supplements come out. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be the same thing I've always been doing, which is Guardians plus the Avatar, but now it's going to be way fucking better. So, ciao.
Man, I'm pumped. It's gonna be insane. Like I really am buying the set just not only for like the 2 characters, I probably won't use them much, but I just want my hand on those rules like ASAP so I can start tooling around with stuff and practicing different theories out and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Everything looks good on paper until you actually put it into practice, and then next thing you know, well, time to change that, drop that unit. It's not
Yeah,
as good as I
yeah.
thought it was, or pick this guy up. I thought this was very impressive. It over it exceeded my expectations. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of gems in that book. It looked pretty thick too. Typically like 80% of the book is fluff and campaign crap, but I think that being able to create your own craft world, create your own cabal, that's gonna change the game for a lot of us. Get us out of that stale style of meta. That's the reason why I went with that Nova list, was because I was tired of seeing the same old list, and everyone knows about grav tanks and knights and stuff like that. And I think the newest thing I saw at that tournament was the Scorpius tanks at that time, and now they're everywhere, along with LR bikes.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Jeremy goes along with my bikes. people came into my house and took them.
Don't
They
take my
picked
Not
my
bike.
wrong.
brain, dude.
Not wrong though. Not wrong. Okay, no. Now, dude, I'm super excited to see this. It's just like where this goes. 'Cause there's so much cool stuff you can go with.
It's hype, man. I really, because I would throw out that I do not think that the supplement is not going to be in the box set though. From what I understand, it's going to be a separate book.
Yeah.
Which is, 'cause I don't know if I don't know if that's what you were saying about getting your hands on the rules, Jeremy. I think that the box set's one thing, and then the supplement traits are going to be a different book.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to include that in there because if like they should, from what I understand. Yeah, because they're even showing it in the little graphics here.
Well, because
It's not the large book, but I think they're gonna put the like the core rules in there for like the new traits and stuff, along with like the campaign stuff. Because I'm looking at like the characters in here, they're probably each gonna sell for 35 a piece. Your incubi are probably gonna go for like 45, 50. Same with the banshees. So you're already looking at 170 bucks, and then like the wave serpent is 40 bucks, and then you can do the rest of the math there. Like it would be a strong deal to pick up this box set, especially if you're just like getting started inside of this style of army, or if you want to add it to a new army. So that's another thing too, and then you can also just resell it too if you want to.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely resell that shit. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Well, I'm gonna have to get my hands on these damn things too. But
One more thing we forgot to touch on.
oh yeah,
Ezarts are getting powers.
Oh shit! Yeah.
yes.
That is huge.
Eldar needs more toys and fuckery, right?
Yes. So we mentioned like James R losing disarming strike, and them changing the fundamentals of disarming strike instead of having them like knock a thunderhammer on the ground, or sweep a knight off his feet so he can't use his titanic feet. It's going to be subtracting 2 from the attack characteristics of that enemy model to a minimum of 1, and it's that specific one is a Howling Banshee Ezarch power. So now my question is like, what if you have like, if you spam Howling Banshee Ezarchs, like have 3 of them in 3 squads, like are you now -6 attacks to a minimum of 1?
You know what? That would be pretty good.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
It's so bad. Like I want to see what the freaking fire dragons are gonna have. Oh, add 2 to your damage characteristic, or roll 3 dice and pick the highest. Like it's gonna be freaking bananas seeing what those Ezart powers are gonna do. I think Dark Reapers might even get some more play now. They might be able to kick up, +1 ballistic skill, or have a native reroll 1 to hit. I'm just speculating now, but those seem like reasonable Ezarch powers that you probably could take. And I wonder what the other powers are, because I think you're gonna have more than one of each type of Ezarch power. So like, I could see Howling Banshees having an option like 2 or 3. Same with the other Ezarchs, because these are interchangeable and they're specific to the aspect warrior. So, there's going to be a lot of fun that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious what the the Shining Spears will get.
I'm not.
You know, like I mean, all the stuff is going to be super cool. Yeah, I mean, the X-Arc thing is going to be great. Like, it's really just we're really just waiting for Saturday, aren't we?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I guess like probably waiting for. I think until Saturday night because that's when the embargo is lifted for the YouTubers who get the books early, and then we have one more week to wait, one more week of pain, in anticipation. But it's gonna be cool, man. I will throw in that I am very because let's plug the Crozius GT. So
Oh man.
Jeremy's gonna be there. I'm heading down with our boy Mark Kurtel, who's been on the show before. I anticipate a lot of the people in the area around North Carolina are going to be going to the Crozius GT put on by Field of Fire Gaming, and it is at the Mace Gaming Convention. Which it sounds like it's a pretty dope convention if they got the FFG guys down there because they're super cool individuals. But it's a 32-person, 2-day, 5-round GT in Charlotte, North Carolina. There are still tickets remaining, so go check that out, everybody. It's like $60 for a ticket. Charlotte is a pretty nice town, so it's like probably got good hotels and stuff like that. But it's gonna be a mean field, man. I don't think there's a guest list out yet, but I anticipate we're gonna have some big names rolling up. We got Jeremy going. We got me going. Be afraid, everybody.
Got Mark going.
We got Mark going. Mark's a strong player.
I'll probably have Chris Blackham show up. You know, it's the SEC. You know, like of Warhammer 40,000. Like it's beat stick in North Carolina. And I don't know if you've been following the post or not, but like Dean has some sick prize support, bro. Like sick. He keeps rolling out like these different sponsors that are providing different prize support. So you know, it's going to be a way to win a lot of stuff if you do go. Dean has a lot of creativity when it comes to his prizes. That was one thing that attracted me to Field of Fire tournaments in the beginning. Was like he was one of the first guys that were coming out with like purity seals, ribbons for prizes, along with custom bolt pistol or bolt rifle. And he's done some other things as well, like a plasma pistol, I believe, was one of the prizes before. And those were at his smaller tournaments. So I can just only imagine what he's pulling out for this GT. It's going to be epic. And I am there. I'm killing two birds with one stone because I'm from Charlotte. So it's going to be, you know, family at night, throwing dice during the day. I'm super excited.
What are you bringing to the GT, man?
What you saw on the stream. That list is coming back. I think since it did so well at Nova, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And there's still, you know, now we have the Iron Hands that are the threat. So, you know, this is going to be the boogeyman list for those guys. That heavy laser destroyer across, you know, 3 different executioners is going to be nasty when it comes to bikes because of the minimum damage of 3. But, you know, I feel like even if I get the jump or, you know, play right, do some cagey stuff, it should do fairly well.
Yeah, especially since like the one way definitely to cut through that list is a lot of a volume of fire and single weapon or like single damage because the relic's going to eat like 2 damage becomes 1, so plasma worthless. Well, all your stuff is mortal wounds. Congratulations. Yeah.
Cancer, right?
Cancer.
Your words, not mine. No, I do know a couple of friends of the show definitely. Phil from Dark on there, he's going to be down there, and I think Davis Fry, who's a local TO down in Fredericksburg, Virginia, is going to be up there.
Yeah, Davis puts on fantastic tournaments in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped. We were talking before the show, and I think that probably the Psychic Awakening stuff will not have made the cut for the GT, which makes me sad, but it's probably fair and balanced for all the folks who are going. Because I know that, you know, that those supplements would be crazy. That shit's going to be insane. Yeah, I'm not sure what personally I'm going to run. I've been messing around with some Talos and some Ravagers and some Guardians, but I don't have the Ravagers or the Talos super ready. I still have some time to get that stuff painted and whatnot, but we'll have to see what goes on with that. But regardless, it's going to be very fun. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be good to just, I mean, just for, if you're listening to the show right now and you've never been to a GT, it's like a super fun experience and you always just learn a ton. Just playing against 5 people you've like never met before or played against before. So that's like, yeah, it's always like it's really awesome to go to a big event like that.
Absolutely. I think people underestimate the level of like friendship that can develop. I don't know if Jeremy knows this or not, but me and Connor met each other at a local RTT down in Richmond that I just randomly went to on a whim.
And now we have a podcast.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I made a ton of friends out of GTs. I met Connor at a GT, so yeah, I'm here now. So I totally agree. Like this is great for community building and having a blast and kicking it, playing Warhammer for 2 days straight. Sign me up. I'm there.
Which is what I liked about Nova. It was like 5 days straight. I did like 13 games, 14 games with practice games in 5 days.
I know, right?
I wanted to kill myself at the end of it, but I did it.
Yeah.
It's like hiking the Appalachian.
Yeah. Like 13 hours of actual 40K.
Intense as fuck.
Jeremy, thanks again for coming on, man.
Does anybody have
you guys having me on?
Dude, of course, man. Anybody if this, depending on what the hell happened with the recording, if people are just hopping on halfway through this shit right now, we love you and appreciate you. We're gonna have this hopefully up just in a podcast form too. Because we had some good discussions, some good talks. And does anybody have any last words?
I do know, just to put our own stuff out, I do know that we're looking to get the live show back up. I know Connor has been doing some interviews that great content. I think we just had Ryan Christensen drop, right?
Yeah, Ryan Christensen, the menace of the Tau tank just dropped. I think it was yesterday, or the interview that Dan and I did with him. You can check out the one that I did with Jeremy a month ago on our Facebook page and on our Podbean page, which is a fantastic aggregator of podcasts. I think the correct word is. But yeah, so we're doing that. We're trying to get people to talk to, like good players and cool people. So that's kind of our focus.
If anybody has requests or suggestions, please hit us up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love talking to people.
Absolutely, we do. Well, folks at home, thank you. And we are going to sign out. So have a good night, everybody. And if anybody's coming to North Carolina for the tournament, give us a shout. Say hey.
And keep on climbing that ladder.
Boom. Keep on climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
Jeremy, thanks again, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy.
Appreciate it, brothers.
You guys have a good night.
Right. So I think, Pete, are you taking us off?